Court documents reveal the custody battle between James Boulware was involved in and had a court proceeding as recently as this past Monday. Fox 4's James Rose is in Hutchins where this all came to an end this afternoon. James, I understand you did speak to both of his parents.
I did, Rich, but first let me set the scene. This is where it all came to an end. If you take a look behind me, you can still see the remains of that burned out van, and they still have this entire area on lockdown, and ATF has their little command post out here at this hour, and you see a guy in a suit, special suit gathering evidence on the scene there. But I can tell you, this is where it came to an end. For whatever reason, James Boulware stopped here, and a sniper with Dallas police fired one bullet into the engine, a .50 caliber bullet. That's what stopped that armored van right there, dead in its tracks. And after he failed to negotiate, I believe more rounds were exchanged, and .50 caliber rounds, which will penetrate the windshield of those kinds of armored vehicles, is what's believed to have killed Boulware. Now, I can tell you, I did speak with his parents earlier today, and while they are divorced, they both told me they never, ever figured he could do anything like this, and he'd never done anything like this before, and they simply could not believe he had explosives. Now, off camera, his mother tells me Boulware was diagnosed with mental illness since he was 14 years old.
This is a mugshot of then 33-year-old James Boulware in May of 2013 when Dallas police arrested him for choking his mother. In April of this year, court records show Boulware represented himself in a jury trial for custody of his son and lost. Just Monday, Dallas County Judge Kim Cook signed an order giving Boulware's mother full custody of his 10-year-old son, but did allow him supervised visitation 2 times a month. Boulware was a no-show in court. The order says the court finds that James Lance Boulware has a history or pattern of committing family violence. Court documents also say the child's mother has a history of drug use and negligent supervision of the child. Boulware has even made threats against the judge on social media postings.
I can't. Absolutely not.
Boulware's father, Jim, says he cannot defend his son's actions, but it still hurts to lose a child. Just Friday, he says, his son came over and cut and edged his yard, but he had no clue of what was to come.
He made the statements and all about the police taking his son and all, yes, and we talked about that, absolutely. Did he make any statements whatsoever about doing anything he did? No.
Dallas Police Chief David Brown talks about that rage in Boulware's 911 call.
The suspect has told our negotiators that we took his child and we accused him of being a terrorist and that he's going to blow us up.
Boulware says his son recently sold his home in Paris and for the last week had been living out of this armored van he had purchased on eBay.
And I really kind of believe he more thought he could just shoot at the police station, make a big stink out of it, make a statement, and go off. And he got himself killed, I guess.
Boulware says he knew his son had a number of firearms, but has no idea where, why, or how he got a hold of pipe bombs.
I know there's a lot of anti-police feelings in this country right now, but you do not want anarchy.
As you can tell, both parents very, very upset. Again, off camera, his mother tells me that, she's just thankful that no one else was killed in this very violent attack. And she says she's very sorry all this happened, and she plans to release a formal statement perhaps sometime later this evening or tomorrow. Rich?
But James Boulware's had a lot of dealings with police before, right?
Right. This is not the first time he's been on their radar. In fact, in 2013, in May, he was arrested for choking his mother, and then he took off to Paris, Texas, and the memo went out all across North and East Texas to be on the lookout for this guy because he is known to carry a lot of firepower, and he also was known to have bulletproof vests and things like that. And family members told police at that time that he had even made threats against soft targets such as schools and churches. So they said you really need to take this guy seriously, and that's exactly what they did when they took him down in Paris, Texas on those Dallas County family violence charges. But again, the mother told me one thing she could not believe is that she said, how is it that Paris police could simply give him all his weapons back? Well, it turns out in January of last year, Dallas County dropped those family violence charges against him. So that may begin to explain what happened here. But again, what seems to be the trigger point here was the fact that he lost sole custody of his child as early as Monday. And that he was not happy about. But he at least had visitation at least 2 times a month with that child under strict supervision. Richard?
James Rose in Hutchins. Thank you, James.